Hello, everyone. Let me just check. So this is like the second time I am going live on a restream. And I'm not even sure if it's, let's see. Anyway. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I guess I'll figure it out for Instagram. I guess I'll figure it out for Instagram. Anyway, hello everyone. I really hope I'm live on Instagram though. One moment, everyone. Let me just check. Because I haven't been live in a minute. Hold on. Okay, great. For Instagram, it takes a while. Okay, hello everyone. I know it has been a while and I know it will, there's a little bit of a buffering, so bear with me. So I'm excited to share with you this afternoon the 5 mistakes people make when updating their resume. And I thought that it would be really cool to come online and discuss this because I have a workshop that's coming up. And many of you know that I am in human resources, like in my 9 to 5, I'm in my human resources role. And so I come across quite a few resumes. But it's not just about, reviewing resumes, it's about positioning yourself for your next opportunity. Positioning yourself for your next opportunity. And so it's been a while, so let me introduce myself. My name is 𝐌𝐢𝐬𝐬. I'm a leadership mindset coach, and I have this wonderful company, the People's Brand. Many of you know it, some of you are new. And what you may not know is the People's Brand. When I started the People's Brand, I actually started with resume and interviewing skills. And I did this for a period of time before I pivoted and transitioned into really focusing on helping new managers to become successful in their roles. And so it's against this backdrop that I am hosting this workshop. My work right now is ensuring that leaders are equipped to do their job. And the way that I do this is a 3 pronged framework that I believe is successful. I know it's successful because it has worked for me. And it is focusing on your mindset, working on your communication, and your work relationships, right? And so this is the 3-pronged approach that I take when I am coaching leaders. And so if you're serious about your career, if you're driven, if you're ambitious, if you want to make your career work, you have to be intentional. And part of that is really about ensuring that your resume is ready. You are ready for the next opportunity. So this isn't just about whether you're looking at next job or something like that, but you have to stay ready. So I want to really get into the 5 mistakes people make, and then I'll share with you a little bit about the workshop. So the first mistake and this is in no particular order. The first mistake I want to share with you is people making their resume, or professionals, I should say, making the resume is keeping the same generic document. So you may have, many of you have a resume that you have been using, maybe you haven't updated since 2005, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, and you still have that resume. And this is a huge mistake people make. They have a resume, it's generic, um, it's it's what they've used before. It isn't specific to where they are. It's not current to where they are now. It's not specific to the job that they want. It still is a 5-page document. And so when an opportunity comes up, whether it is in the next company or within the company that they work, and it's a promotion and they have to submit a resume, it's a problem because it's generic. And many times I've seen in HR, my HR background, and life, of course, have taught me this, is you can't assume because you've worked for a company for a while that you should be given a particular opportunity. You can't assume that, you know, longevity and loyalty will get you to the next level. You have to be intentional with your career. And so, mistake number one is keeping the same generic document. People don't tailor it to where they're going. They don't update it to where they are now. It doesn't reflect any of those things. And so that is mistake number one. Let me do this. What is a chat? Okay. I just wanted to open the chat box just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So the second mistake people make is they wait until the last minute to update their resume. And the last minute is really an opportunity has presented itself, whether they are they've migrated to another country, they're going to migrate to another country, something is happening in the work environment, they have a toxic boss, they have a coworker that is just unbearable, they're ready to move on. Something happens that makes them realize that, hey, I need to move on. This is not working out for me. And so I need to go, whether they're retiring. Some people retire early. So don't think that retirement is somebody 70 something or 60 something years old. And even so, those ages are still, that's just midlife, right? And so people just wait until the last minute to update their resume. Here's the challenge with this. The problem with this is that you're going to miss critical items. The problem with this is you've done so much great things, you've learned so much, and you wait until the last minute and you're not going to get those key things in there. You're not going to get these key things in there. And the important thing to understand is when a recruiter is looking at your resume, they only have a few seconds. Your resume is not the only document that they're looking at, right? And if you were to migrate to places like the US, there are people who sole job, recruiters, that's all they do. They look at resume. And so resumes, their job is to select the best candidates. And what these people are doing is looking for the ones that really stand out. They're looking for the ones that are specific to the job they're recruiting for. And so being general, not having your waiting until the last minute, you are already playing from behind, and you can't blame anyone but yourself. You can't say, well, how come I didn't, you're going to find it very, very difficult because you're not doing the work. You're not staying ready. You're not keeping up to date. Okay. You're not being intentional about your career. And this is what this workshop is about. Ready your resume, leverage your LinkedIn. Sorry, this is what this workshop is all about. It is about being intentional with your career. It isn't just like, oh, I'm looking at a job, I want this. What I'm going to share with you in this workshop are strategies and tools that you can use to be intentional when it comes to your career. Many times people walk into interviews and they are unprepared, right? Or they don't feel confident. And the reason why they don't feel confident is because they have not done the work, right? They have not recorded their wins. And so that's my third point. It's actually not tracking your wins and failures, right? And yes, failures, because don't think that when you get into an interview, people are just going to take what's on paper. They're going to ask you about things that you learned from failing. And so it's important to not only just keep a track of your accomplishments, but also those times when you failed and you learn. And so this is the other thing. People don't do that. They just go through their career willy-nilly. When it's time to move on, they leave so much on the table because one, they can't remember times, memories, things, places, dates. All these things are blurred because you didn't make a plan. You weren't intentional about your career. And, on my platform, if you're following me for a while, I speak about influential leaders. Influential leadership. Influential leadership is really about being an intentional leader. It's about being an intentional leader. And if you're going to be intentional, you have to plan for it. You have to stay ready. The fourth thing I want to share with you, mistake that I want to share with you is persons are not quantifying their results. And so many times people, and I'm sure your resume is like that, it just has an outline of what you do. It just has tasks and responsibilities. Some people take it straight out the job description. Well, that tells the person what your job is and what that role is. And if if you are speaking with someone who is experienced, they already have a general idea of what your current position is, right? But what they want to know is, can you do the job? And the way people will know if you can do the job is by proving you can, by sharing your results, not making things up, but sharing your results. And this is mistake number 4. People don't quantify their results. They don't know how to share the results. And if you are not tracking your wins and failures, you are going to have a hard problem with that, right? If you're not being intentional, you're going to have a hard time with that. If you're waiting until the last minute, you're going to have a hard time with that. So I hope you see how each one of these are stacked stacked against each other or on top of each other. They're layered, right? They're steps. And then mistake number 5 is really about your career summary. Your career summary. What is that attention grabber? uh Most people have like an objective, so most people like have a summary, but what about your career, your special career summary? This is where you can showcase your talent. This is sort of like your elevator pitch for your resume. This is the attention grabber. This is what makes you unique and makes you stand out. But if you're not paying attention to your life, to your career, when it when it is time to really showcase, to really put into words and to communicate uh, your value, you will fail to do so because you're not being intentional. You don't have that. You're just having a generic objective or summary or whatever, right? You are leaving money on the table because you are not showcasing your value. How powerful it is when you can have a resume you are really proud of. It showcases your career journey. It highlights the results that um, you've had and the wins that you've had, and even writing and sharing those areas where, let's call them areas of opportunity, let's not call them failures, where you were able to turn everything around. How powerful is that? It says to the person who wants to promote you that you are ready, that you're confident, that you're the person. It says to the if it's outside your company, it says to the your potential employer, this is someone that I want at any cost. This is someone that I need on my team. And so these are just 5 mistakes that people make um, when they're writing their resume, or currently, they're not doing anything with it. And like I said, if you want to be an influential leader, you have to stay ready. As a matter of fact, your resume should be a document that you update consistently, because it can also be used, and this is a bonus, it can also be used as a tool when you get into these year-end discussions, or if you find that you've been given additional tasks, or there are things that you're doing and you're not being rewarded. Your resume is a way of capturing all that. And this is something where this is a document that you can email ahead of time, uh, before you have that conversation with your boss. And so resume, yes, you can use it. It can be used as your calling card, so to speak, to get your foot in the door, to get you that interview. But it can also be used in your current role to really showcase the value that you bring to your company. And sometimes we get so caught up in what we are doing in our everyday, you know, career life, that we don't even remember, we think the things that we do because it's so easy. We think that, hey, it's easy, but really, we don't realize how unique we are, how skilled we are, how talented we are. Putting all this on paper will help you. And so it is with this in mind, I am hosting this workshop, Ready Your Resume, Leverage Your LinkedIn. And so it's going to be, I'd like to invite you to attend. It will be at the St. Kitts Marriott on Saturday, June 7th from 9 to 1. And we're going to help you. I'm going to help you work on your resume. I'm going to help you to bring it to life. I'm going to share with you tools and strategies that will help you to grab that attention that you need. One thing you should know about me is that I believe in the philosophy, teach a man to fish, right? I teach you how to do this. And once I've taught you how to update your resume, once I've taught you what to look for, the things to include, how to refine it, then you can do so on your own. And so that is Saturday, June 7th at 9 a.m. at St. Kitts Marriott. I'm going to put the link somewhere on this. If it's on YouTube, I'm going to put the link on in the video somewhere, in the caption somewhere. If it's on Facebook, same thing. On YouTube, you can, on Instagram, you can send me a DM, and the link is always in my bio. But you have to stay ready. You have to stay ready because you just never know. You are a professional and you want to be intentional about your careers. Many times people sit back and they look at other people and they think that, others are so talented and others are so, lucky, but you create your own luck. You create your own luck. And if you're anything like me, like I'm one of these people that it's only when I sit and write all that I'm doing, this is when I realize, hey, I've done so much. I've done great work, right? And a resume is a really great way of capturing that. None of us know what's up ahead, and we have to be intentional about it. Like I mentioned, whether we will migrate, whether we want to leave a job, maybe it's in the same company, we're going to get promoted. Maybe we have a manager that helps us because of how toxic or how maybe it could be great. It doesn't even mean that they're toxic, right? They help us realize our potential. Whatever the situation is, it helps us realize our potential and we realize, hey, I could be doing more. We don't want to be left scrambling. We want to be in a position where we can articulate, not only verbally, but communicate in writing the great value that we bring, because that is what it's about: bringing value, highlighting your value, and bringing that to the front so people can see the great work that you do, and you can leverage that. So the workshop is called Ready Your Resume, Leverage Your LinkedIn, because I believe both goes hand in hand. LinkedIn and your resume, because for me, LinkedIn is like your digital resume, and it gives an opportunity for you to really stand out on that platform even more. You have more bandwidth to play with, right? And so send me a DM. Let me know. I can send you the link to sign up. We have 21 days left until this workshop. So act now and get in now so I can show you how to be more intentional and by extension, how to showcase your value so that when you need it, you're not scrambling. You can just refine and produce that information. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.